Marketing doesn't have to be so expensive. An old boss used to talk to me like I'd been raised by wolves. "Stephen," she'd start slowly, "I know you haven't worked in a big company before." Typically, these pull-asides happened after a meeting in which I climbed a metaphorical lamppost and said something along the lines of, "The emperor has no clothes." That happened a lot. I was all right with it because she was never saying I was wrong, only that I shouldn't have said it. However, the only reason not to have said it would have been if I were trying to have a career in a big business. And my heart has always belonged to small businesses. I've worked for big businesses only because I needed a visa, hello Australia, or money. I'm happiest in my own small business with clients who also work in small businesses, owning them or being employed by them. There's an added dimension when you're advising people who are playing the game with their own money or people who sit next to the person whose money they're pushing in on red. They're giving it a go without a cushion of size that would take decades to deflate. The business books point and laugh at Kodak and Nokia for screwing up epically, but even so, those companies still exist. They're listed on stock exchanges. Would you still be in business if you screwed up on that scale? Small businesses don't have the luxury of fucking up so badly that books will be written about it and still being around to read the books. Being a small business owner and having small business clients, I know intimately the greatest catch-22 of small business life. It's back-breakingly hard to grow without help, but help is expensive. I talk all the time to business owners we could help, but we're also a business, and what we do takes the time of people with scarce expertise. That puts our one-on-one expertise outside the budgets of many businesses. This is why we've spent so much time since February 2021 working on ways to package our expertise with AI to make it possible for businesses to get the expertise they need for a lesser investment. February 2021 is when we started using AI in the business. We ran our first course on using AI not long after, and AI was primitive back then compared to what it can do now. Now, if you know how to work the tool, you can tap into deep pools of expertise locked within large language models like ChatGPT. ChatGPT might be the proverbial Swiss Army knife because it can do so many things, but also like a Swiss Army knife, you still need to know what you're doing. I might have the attachment to take things out of a horse's hoof, but no horse in its right mind would want to see me approaching it with a tool of any kind. Yesterday, I wrote to you about how I'd use ChatGPT as my chief marketing officer. As my CMO, ChatGPT worked with me strategically to think about the client, decide what the client needed, frame the offer persuasively, price the offer, and design upsells. The result was a 5-figure proposal that was quickly accepted. And ChatGPT costs me $25 a month. That is not expensive. If you're running a business on a budget, what would it mean for you to be able to tap into deep, insightful, trained, and expert marketing advice for $25 a month? This is what I mean by marketing not having to be so expensive. Not if you can get deep, strategic help because you're combining a tool with the answers, with your ability to ask the questions. The help is out there and it's affordable, which means you don't have to do it all on your own. You have only to know how to ask the right questions. Stephen. You've been watching or listening to The Obvious Choice, the Taylist podcast read by, well, not podcast, well, it is a podcast, but it's a podcast and a newsletter, and primarily it's a newsletter, and it's a newsletter that I'm reading to you and that you can get directly to your inbox from the link in the show notes, which you should go to now and sign up so that you never miss an episode. And if you found this helpful in any way, most people who find it helpful don't take the time to leave a review or hit like or subscribe. I would be super grateful if you would be one of the few who did take that moment to acknowledge that this has been helpful to you. Thank you.